proteins. Several of you supplement. Are they all created equal? And they're really not. You'll see some whey proteins that are inexpensive. You'll see whey proteins that are twice the cost. And they're made in different ways. There are 3 different elements to whey protein. There's whey protein concentrate. So this comes down to reading the food labels on your proteins, whether it's a power bar or whether it's whey protein or if it's some sort of a manufactured food where they're using different concentrates. So a concentrate is actually the least potent of all. So if you're looking at a whey protein or a bar and it says concentrate, doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that it's going to be lower quality than a whey protein isolate. Here, the whey protein by weight it varies. It could vary between 29 to almost 90%. So you don't always know what you're getting. So if a protein bar says whey protein concentrate, it's hard to tell what the quality is. It could be just okay. It just depends. It depends on the other ingredients in it. They may combine a whey protein concentrate with a whey protein isolate. An isolate is higher quality. They've actually removed some of the fat and the carbohydrates. So if you're looking at a whey protein isolate, you'll notice on your protein jar that the carbohydrates are going to be higher here when you're looking at whey protein concentrate. This is just a little bit better quality. This is 90% or more by weight, so you can see how there could be a big fluctuation in the amount of actual grams of protein in that particular product. This is pre-digested ionized hydrosylates, and it's very expensive. It's very uncommon to find. Normally, your products, you'll see one of these 2 in products and sometimes a combination. And then you'll also see soy isolates. And soy isolates would be comparable to the whey protein isolates, okay? Except again, your body's probably not going to absorb as much soy as you would with the whey. So that's a way to tell. So you're going to start looking at all your protein bars now, right? And you're going to start saying, what is in this? And know the difference between the 2. You might pay a little more for a whey protein isolate. So when we talk about protein and quality protein, in every meal, I like to combine lean proteins with complex carbs and healthy fats. And I did quite a bit of research in the area of food satiety. And if you do this, you will stay fuller longer. It slows down your body's ability to break it down quickly, and it will keep you fuller longer. So 20% is perfect. Say, for example, you have a Greek yogurt here. That's your protein. And then you add a complex carb. Let's say you add an apple to it, and a healthy fat, maybe 10 almonds. All of a sudden, you have about 300 calories of really healthy food that's going to sustain you. If you were hungry and you just ate an apple, you would digest it so quickly, you would be hungry again in an hour. And that's why we tend to combine our foods.
What do you have for fat?
As an example, almonds. Just as an example. Walnuts, almonds, flaxseed. Yes, hi. Avocados, yes. She said, how about avocados? Avocados are a great source of healthy fats, as is, let's see what else, olive oil, flaxseed, nuts. Can we think of any others? Healthy fats, unsaturated, no trans. Ice cream. Yes, ice cream's great for you. I'm sorry? Seeds, yes. Exactly, seeds or nuts. Sunflower seeds, walnuts, and I did research into the different kinds of seeds. People used to say, don't have roasted seeds, they're not good for you, but a raw seed and a roasted seed, they're exactly equal in terms of their nutrient content, but what happens is sometimes in the roasting process, they'll add sugars, they'll add fats, they'll add other things to it, that smoky flavor, those smokehouse almonds. Those are the ones you don't want. But if it's just a plain roasted nut, it's fantastic and it's a little crunchier, so it's a little more palatable, right? Yes.
How do you determine whether or not they put anything on it? I mean, does the label have to say if they try roasting it, they put something on it?
Yeah, so her question is, How can you tell if with the nuts that they put something into the formulation? And the way you tell is by looking at the ingredients. It might say something like almonds and then sunflower oil. Then you know if they used oils or salt or sugar, that kind of thing. They have to specify it. They have to specify it by law.
And so if it doesn't say gluten-free, I mean, and if they don't say they put it in there, then we can safely assume that it's gluten-free or not?
So her question is, if it doesn't say gluten-free, is it gluten-free? And gluten-free products, there's so many natural gluten-free products, food products. And those are all, you know, fruits and vegetables and meats and grains, some of the grains, not all the grains. Rice is gluten-free. So on those natural products, and a lot of them don't have labels, you won't see that. But on the other hand, if you look at a package, it may not have gluten in it. So say, for example, oats, for example. Oats are naturally gluten-free, but if they are grown in a field where wheat has been grown before or next to a field where it's cross-contaminated, then it's not truly gluten-free because some people are very, very sensitive to gluten. You as well. Both of my daughters are gluten, and it's not necessarily some sensitivity, it's a toxic reaction. So you have to be extraordinarily careful, otherwise you can get flu-like symptoms, stomach flu-like symptoms, a lot of, I understand, I feel for you. I do. So the gluten-free question is good. It'll also say on labels, if it is something like that, that it's made in a factory with gluten or with nuts or with wheat. It'll say with wheat. That's usually a good indicator. Any more questions on this particular slide? No? Okay. So how much protein do we need? Do all of you know?
70 grams a day.
72 grams a day?
Yeah.
For you?
Well, on the average, we like an average American eat too much. But, oh no, I eat less than that. Like,
Yeah, she's saying she needs 72 grams a day, which might be a little high, but it's pretty close. It's good that you have a general idea. I think a lot of people don't. So we mentioned before, 20% of our total calorie intake should be from protein. There are 3 different levels of how you calculate this out. One is just the average everyday person that doesn't work out. They need 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. So what you do is you need to actually take your body weight, say here, for example, it's 130 pounds. You multiply it to get your kilogram body weight. Okay, so it's by 0.453, on and on. That gives us 59 kilograms, okay? This would be roughly my body weight, for example, somebody my size. Then you take that 59 grams and you multiply it by your activity level. So here I multiplied my activity level, which is I'm more recreational athlete. I do some weight training, but I'm not an athlete. I'm going to be at the lower end. So by 1.2, and that gives me about 70 grams of protein a day that I should be taking in. And that's based on somewhat of your body weight, but also your muscle composition, because you know that your muscles need that protein to sustain itself. So here, a bodybuilder though, any of you do weight training? Yes?
I also have a question. Who is active recreational athlete? How many times a week should he work out?
This would be maybe if you did 3 to 4 hours of weight training a week.
What if you work out every day, like cardio with weights? What if it's like...
You're probably going to be more up here. Because you're using your muscles more, you're going to need to sustain it. But for you 2 gentlemen who do weight training, you're going to need more. If you do, like how many hours a week do you do bodybuilding? About 3, and what about you? How many hours a week do you think you do your weight training or bodybuilding? About 3, okay. So you're probably going to be around here, 1.2, 1.5, somewhere in there.
Let's say you're doing 2 to 3 hours of weight training, plus 2 or 3 hours of aerobics, running, biking, swimming.
Right.
So you're working out 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah, you're going to have more demands on your muscles, even though you're not weight training and building. Someone who does a lot of bodybuilding, is going to be up, you know, here. But if you're athletic, you're doing weight training, even when you're doing cardio, you're still using your muscles, but you're not really building muscle mass. You're not going to need as much protein, but you're still going to need more than the person who just does 3 hours of weights a week. It's all shades of gray.
So it's just a guesstimate.
It's a guesstimate. It is.
I have a question. Like after you work out, they say that you have to eat a protein in the next 30 minutes in order to repair the muscles you break. Like how to say? Like
The muscles break down, right?
So is it like 30 minutes after?
Yeah. So her question is, after working out, how are you supposed to eat? Like, what do you need to eat? She's saying, is it within 30 minutes after you work out? And
Protein, not something else. The protein.
the protein, yes. I think what you need, though, is the protein and the carbohydrates, because if you've been through a workout and you've eaten before it, you've used that protein and you've used that energy and those carbohydrates, and your blood sugar starts to drop down a little bit. So you want your blood sugar to be even at all times. So in order to do that, you need to eat a little, that same combination, a little bit of protein, a little bit of complex carbohydrates, a little bit of healthy fat, because you're replenishing.
What if you don't? How is the effect on the thyroid?
What happens is, and I wish I had the chart with me today, I have a blood sugar chart, but when your blood sugar gets too low, what's happening is you're not going to be able to build the muscle that you wanted to build. Because when your blood sugar is low, your body is looking for glucose for energy. That glucose is in your blood, but when your blood sugar levels go low, it starts going after your muscles for that energy. So if you want to build your muscles, you should never let your blood sugar get low. Okay? It's really an important concept.